Hello and welcome to DecaSIM's weekly analysis of who won the week. And this week, instead of going to a geography or a zip code, we are going to talk about how not to win the week. So, Doug, tell us, how do you not win the week?
Well, let's start off with a bit of a refresher on weekly retailer advertising. We know it works and we know everyone does it. And this creates a challenge because how do you stand out? We also know it's difficult to measure the effectiveness of it. And we think this creates a culture where it's hard to experiment because you can't measure whether your experiments work, which leads to sort of a reluctance to try new things, which means retailers and the category managers rely on historic patterns and legacy thinking to construct the ad, which is why they've looked the same for the past 50 years or so.
So talking about them looking the same, why is it that we end up with a situation where even when you look and compare print and digital ads, you get these ads that essentially look exactly the same? Why does that happen?
Well, the first observation is there are too many items on the front page and in these pieces of advertising. And that's because retailers do not think holistically when they are constructing the ads and maybe when they're running their businesses. They think in category silos. And in this instance, in the category silo approach, you end up with all the categories having something on the front page or populating the front page. It just gets too busy. There's also too much focus on national brands. And national brands have a disproportionate influence on promotional activity because of their disproportionately large promotional budgets. But if you focus on a national brands too much, you'll become a Me Too, you have a Me Too looking ad. And finally, retailers not knowing their customers well enough to know what the special items are that are going to help differentiate them and drive baskets for the upcoming week.
So that's a quick refresher on how not to win the week. Join us next week to understand some more information about how to win the week. So let's put the positive spin on that effectiveness of advertising, which we know works. And in the meantime,